What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. First off, if you are new here, hello, hi, welcome to the vlog, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button too. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on my Instagram. The link will be in the description box down below. And then you can also support me through my link. I'm affiliated with One Up Nutrition, and they have great supplements, pre-workouts, amino acids, collagen, protein, you name it, they got it. I like it. I want it. You're so great, Taylor. So great. You're doing a great job, sweetheart. You can use my discount code as well, which will be in the description box below, to give you 20% off of your order. So today I thought we'd talk about healthy alternatives. One of the biggest things with just a health and fitness journey is understanding finding healthier alternatives. I know there's a lot of discrepancy around foods and labeling them as good and bad, and personally I hate that. I hate labeling stuff as a good carb, a bad carb, and I've done it in the past. I may have mentioned it in a video, but the more I progress on my own journey, the more I realize I hate those labels, because it just starts to create this negative relationship with food in your brain, and so you feel guilty for ever treating yourself or eating certain meals, and you beat yourself up. And no, we do not do labels here anymore, chap. So I thought we'd go ahead and talk about how to kind of determine what a healthier alternative is, and then maybe offer some examples of healthier alternatives, like my favorites, and then give you a little tips on how to figure out healthier alternatives for certain things. So with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's get started. First off, I also want to say that I am not a licensed nutritionist or dietitian. All of these tips and tricks are based on my personal opinion, my personal preference, and my own personal experience and journey. If you find something that I say does not work for you, I apologize in advance, but these are only based on my experience, my body type, and what makes me feel good and what works for me. What works for me may not work for you, so just keep that in mind. So for starters, a healthier alternative is something that I define as a food that you can prepare, a food that's literally a whole food. Anything that's more natural, not over processed, that to me is always a healthier alternative. For example, if you're used to buying frozen dinners, those are going to be highly processed and just have a lot of additives in it that are harmful to you. It may not be that high in calories or sodium or carbs or whatever the case may be, but there's just a lot of additives that can still negatively affect you and your body. So finding a way, taking your favorite frozen dinner and then using that as a basis for the recipe and coming up with your own recipe using more natural, more whole foods, unprocessed, is that a word? Ingredients is going to be a healthier alternative. So an example of finding a healthier alternative to something is chips. Chips in the store should mainly be 3 ingredients, right? Same with French fries, potato, salt, oil. That's all that should really make up that, unless it's a certain flavored chip and then there's additional flavoring. But altogether, there should only be 3 to 4 ingredients involved in chips. However, if you go to the store, there are so many additional additives that aren't even necessary. It's not necessarily about the calories and the fats and stuff, but certain things are going to be more harmful in those kinds of foods. So finding healthier alternatives are going to prevent you from later developing certain issues with your health that are caused from those dyes and artificial flavorings and additives that are not necessary. I would like to speak to whoever found those necessary. So for chips, a healthier alternative would be taking sweet potato or taking kale and using that with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, any additional like seasoning you may want to add to that. Sometimes I use like paprika or chili seasoning on the sweet potato, and then you bake them in the oven. You're using all natural ingredients. It's not overly processed, and it's going to overall just be better for you and your general health. The biggest thing with finding healthier alternatives is a lot of people want just an easy fix, especially like in today's day and age. It's always like you're on the go, you're busy, you don't have time to, cook all the time, or you're just balancing so much, it slips your mind and you go for the easy frozen dinner, the easy pop in the microwave, pop in the oven type of thing. I'm gonna kind of lay out some tips for finding those healthier alternatives, and overall you're just gonna have to set aside time to meal prep. Even if, for example, you take that frozen dinner and recreate it with more natural products, you can then freeze it and preserve it for when you are ready to use it. There is nothing wrong with that, like making your own food and then freezing it, so it's like a frozen dinner, but it's more natural and a healthier alternative. So here are some of my tips for finding a healthier alternative. First, you need to kind of learn what's in the food that you are eating. I would start becoming more mindful, start looking at the ingredients on the back to determine whether it is good for you. Not labeling the food as good or bad, but just overall seeing the types of chemicals and ingredients that are in it that may be better or not as good for your health. And some people are allergic to like artificial dyes and stuff like that, and they're not even aware of it, and it can cause inflamed stomach, inflamed face, breakouts, stuff like that. So there are just certain things to keep in mind when you are trying to try out new things at the grocery store. If you're not sure if it's necessarily the best thing for you, I would look at the ingredients rather than the calories and carbs and everything. Also, I would determine what your body specifically needs. We used to always like track just calories, which is great. In order to lose fat, you do have to be in a calorie deficit. But learning about your specific body based on your height, your weight, how active you are, the certain diets, whether you're vegan, keto, whatever the case may be, putting in those in. There are a ton of like online trackers. They're not going to be the most accurate, as nothing really ever is with those sorts of things, but it's going to show you how much protein you need, how many carbs you need, how much fat you need, and then you can kind of become more aware of, okay, what kind of fats are you putting in your body now, and if you need more fat in your diet, where can you kind of replace and find a healthier alternative. Like avocados are a great source of protein and a great source of fat, and I live by avocado toast. So another tip for finding healthier alternatives is using your resources. We live in such a great world with technology. I know it's a love-hate relationship for some of us, but they brought us Pinterest, and now we have TikTok, and people are loading the crap out of those two with new recipes, healthier ways to like make lasagnas and pastas and different things like that where you can substitute. I get mind blown. Like sometimes I make up my own recipes and I need to be more mindful on sharing them, because sometimes people are like, wow, I didn't even think of that. But my mind just goes to like the healthier, more natural option and comes up with like flavorings and stuff to make it taste like similar things. Like the other night I made a pumpkin pie smoothie. I will probably share the recipe on my Instagram because it was so good, and it used banana, pumpkin puree, like vanilla extract, a tad of sugar-free maple syrup, almond milk, pumpkin spice. It was fantastic. I think just at the end of the day, it's overall super important to just be mindful of the things you are placing within your body. Like I said, there are a lot of harsh chemicals and dyes that they use in food, and some of the produce, actually, I was watching a video and found out that sometimes they use dyes on top of the vegetables, fruits, sweet potatoes, stuff like that, to make them look more appealing, so you buy them in the store. So when you do buy produce, make sure you are washing them thoroughly to get any debris, dye, any extra things like that. Overall, finding healthier alternatives is easy. It just takes a lot of time. It may take some extra meal prepping time. So in efforts to find those healthier alternatives, I do suggest you set aside some time to meal prep. It can be tedious sometimes, but it really isn't if you put your mind to it and you prioritize finding a healthier way of eating and living, and overall you'll just feel so much better. At the end of the day, just have fun with it. Just eat the foods that make you feel good and have fun. Experiment, go wild, go crazy. Kind of it for this little chat. After this, I plan on showing you guys how I made my little Brussels sprout, like quinoa and cranberry. It's like a fall little quinoa bowl that I put together, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Gonna wrap up this video, so don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a beautiful day.